My name is Kayli Rideout, and I'm a PhD candidate in American and New England Studies at Boston University. This summer, I had the opportunity to intern with the Massachusetts Historical Society through a partnership with the Boston University Center for Humanities and the Office of the Associate Provost for Graduate Affairs. I worked in the Education Department of the MHS with Director of Education Alyssa Tardif and Assistant Director of Education Kate Melchor. If you're familiar with the MHS, you'll know that they have a really excellent education program with a wide range of educational resources for both students and teachers. And much of this educational material is available through their website, which has been incredibly important in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, but is also a critical step in achieving more widespread access to the collections. Because of the pandemic, my internship was completed remotely, so I met with Alyssa and Kate virtually. But the remote format actually had some unexpected benefits. Because the MHS has such a diverse collection of educational materials like lesson plans, primary source sets, and web features, part of the education department's job is to keep these materials updated and relevant for students and educators. This summer, my primary project allowed me to work with one of these web features that needed some attention, a web feature entitled The Case for Ending Slavery, which focused on the end of slavery in Massachusetts. This web feature originated as a collaboration between the Massachusetts Historical Society and the Library of Congress and featured a number of object pairings that brought objects from both collections together to form narratives about the end of slavery in Massachusetts. This was a great project to work on remotely because I was able to work on the web feature and experience it as someone who may not be able to visit the MHS or the Library of Congress for whatever reason. As a material culture scholar, one of my main goals was to bring more object-based learning to the web feature, bringing material objects and other visual materials into conversation with documents and other written works wherever I could. The MHS has an incredible collection of material objects that can tell us a great deal about history, and it was important for me to encourage students to consider how objects might be able to build out a historical narrative for which there is no written record. This supported an additional goal of mine to complicate the traditional narrative of the end of slavery in Massachusetts and bring these histories into the present day. The newly designed web feature will explain how, in the present day, Massachusetts society, culture, and politics are still impacted by the legacy of slavery, and how these objects and other collection items can help us tell a more truthful and inclusive history of Massachusetts. The redesign of this web feature is part of an overall website redesign, and it's not currently live just yet, but I hope you'll check it out once it's completed. In the meantime, I'd like to thank Alyssa and Kate and the rest of the Massachusetts Historical Society for allowing me to spend my summer working with their collections, as well as the BU Center for Humanities and the Office of the Associate Provost for Graduate Affairs. This internship allowed me to explore new avenues of public history work and put my humanities training to use in promoting public history education.